Hello everybody, welcome into Watch Me Wednesday, episode number 65. This is week number 5 of our Island Breeze Quilt Along. I hope that all of you have been enjoying this series. I have, and I actually am making 2 of them again this time. Not that I haven't made it before, because you've all seen the ones that I made before, but I am making 2. There are people they're posting in the Quilt Along group of the quilts, their quilts in progress as well. And I wanted to show you before we got started a couple things. I wanted to show you one of the blocks from the K facet version that I'm doing. I actually have 3 in front of me. But I'm just going to hold it up and show you. So this is what the K facet version of mine currently looks like. I've got all the blocks made, the whole blocks made, and I really love this. When I actually designed this quilt back in 2012, believe it or not, when I actually designed this quilt, then this was the original design. And then Island Batik wanted to pick up the quilt and asked if I would do it in the batiks. And of course, I love batiks. As you know, I designed batiks for Island Batik. So I made the quilt in the Island Batiks. So now I'm getting a chance to go back around and make it in the K facet fabric. So I wanted to share that with you. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the setting triangles, or half blocks and quarter blocks. There's 4 quarter blocks which going in the corners, and then there are 8 half or setting triangles that are going in the tops, sides, and the bottoms. And so if you're just hopping in and joining me now on this quilt along, you can go back and watch week 1 on my Facebook page here, or if you join the group, you can watch it there. Or if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can also watch it there. I upload all the videos there as well. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and grab the pattern from me, and it's available online. I'll have the link in the video above my head when we're done. But this is what the pattern will look like. And what you get when you get in the group too, you will have the access to the PDF. I give you homework each week, and the PDF describes what the homework is, and you can download that once you get into the group. And yes, I do go in, and I will, I don't go in every day to add people in. You have to ask to join. And let me just say, you clearly have to have an interest in quilting, because I do check some of the profiles, because some of the profiles, I can tell you, they are not quilters, so I've had to decline some. So if you're not a quilter, don't request to join, because it is solely for Quilt Along, and we want you to share your progress, your fabrics that you've chosen, the mock-ups that you've done in Quiltster, and anything else in that group that relates to the Quilt Along. That's what that Quilt Along is meant for. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you're enjoying what everybody else is posting in there. And you can actually ask questions there too. A lot of people are asking questions, so that would be great. So welcome in, everybody. So today I want to show you, we're going to do, I mentioned we're going to do the setting triangles. So we have the corner triangles, and I put one together. I am going to demo how to do this. So we have 4 corner triangles that you have to make, okay? And then, so I'm just putting these off to the side. And then we have the setting triangles, or half blocks, which I call them in the pattern. The half blocks, which we have to do, and you have to make 8 of those. So I'm going to show you how to do those. Now, last week I did show you how to put your flying geese together. So you're gonna, you had to do them for your whole blocks. Now you have to do them for these half or quarter blocks as well. So I'm going to turn the camera down, because I want to show you how I work. And I get everything done fairly quickly, because I do chain piece. And that's really, really important because it's super efficient and you can get it done quickly. Now, I don't know, for those of you who are in the group, you've probably seen me post, I have all my whole blocks done and they're actually on my design wall over there, and maybe at the end I can walk over and show you those. But I got them done fairly quickly, probably in the course of maybe 2 hours. I got all the blocks done because I chain piece. If you're not chain piecing, get yourself into that habit of doing that because you're way more efficient. You can get them done quicker. So I'm going to turn the camera down and I'm going to show you what I mean when how I got the whole blocks together so quickly, and then how you're going to get these half and quarter blocks done. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to turn you down. Okay, so first off, I want to show you. So here is from here up. This is my half block. So we've got a small triangle, which these are all cut out from the very first cutting instructions from the very first week. Then we've got your flying geese, and they're laid out in rows, okay? Then your blocks, okay? Then you've got your triangles. So I actually sewed some together. So you've got these little triangles that you've cut, okay, side by side. Then you've got, this is your second row, then you've got your geese, and then you've got your other set of triangles, okay? So you can see I've laid them out in rows, similar to what you see in the pattern. Now, the construction of this, what I did here, and you can see that I have a stack, and what I did was we need to make 8 of these, okay? 8 half blocks. So I have stacked here, what I did was I pieced my geese together just like I showed you last week, and I have a stack of 8 of them. And then in each of the respecting stacks, I have 8 of each component. This makes it super quick and easy for me to chain piece. And what I'm going to be doing first is chain piecing the rows together before I join a block together. But before I can go ahead and chain piece the row, you have to have your geese together, you have to have these together, and then you also have to have these little triangles together. Now, I sewed the triangles together here, you can see, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. When you sew these together, I'm going to turn on my iron for you too. When you sew these together, you're just going to turn them right sides together like so. Okay, like so. Get it? Pun intended. You're turning it right sides together. Now I'm going to bring you on over here to my machine again. I am sewing again on my Epic 980Q, and I do have a my Aurifil thread in, and I have it set to a 2.0 stitch length, and I have a Microtex needle in and my 1/4 inch foot. I also have it in needle down position. Now, you might want to start by sewing it with this point in, but don't do that because even I have a single hole throat plate in there, which I recommend that you do. Don't have your zigzag plate in. It's just easier for you to catch your fabric if you start with the square end down. So I'm going to go ahead and sew down the end at that 1/4 inch. And you see my needle is down in. When my needle goes down in, the foot lifts up a little bit so that I can twist it or reposition the fabric as need be, which is one of the great little functions I love about my Epic 980Q. So then you're going to put the next one in, the next one in, the next one, so you get all 8 done. That's how you're going to chain piece that one. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and cut that thread. And you know me, I am a thread snipper. I don't like these little pieces of thread hanging out here, so I'm always trimming them down because it just kind of gets in the way. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you over here, and I'm going to show you on this, we are actually, let me turn it up just a little bit so I think you can see. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to press this to, in this case, I'm pressing it to the dark side. So I'm pressing it to those fish, the orange fish. So I'm going to go ahead, give it just a slight little press here, and then I'm going to go ahead and press that open. Well, to that side, I should say. Now, what I like to do, so if you can see this here, it leaves that little dog ear, and I like to snip those dog ears off so I don't have that extra fabric there. And I do that all along in the entire process. I snip off those dog ears. So now we've got our 8 of everything in the stack. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to join a triangle, a large triangle, to the geese, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the process. So just watch along with me and you'll see how I do the whole thing and how I press and how I trim. So again, I'm starting with that square edge in, and I'm going to sew right along the edge, add a 1/4 inch, oops, you know what? I'm sewing on the wrong side. Uh-oh, made a mistake. I'm supposed to be sewing on the other side. I just realized it halfway through. So, see that what I did? I was sewing it to the top. Wrong. So I'm going to get another piece. Don't do that. See, we all make mistakes. So I'm going to have to get that trusty old seam ripper out. And I'm going to grab another one up. So I'm sewing along this side, not the top of the geese. Silly me. Anyway, so I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to start. I thought there was something not right when I put that in there. Anyway, so I'm going to sew, starting with that square edge and coming down the straight edge with that 1/4 inch foot. Okay? Coming all the way down. Now I'm not going to chain piece these 8 blocks because that would just take too long for me to do it via video. And I know you don't want to sit through me chain piecing everything. So I'm just going to talk you through it. So now I would, again, then take my next one, do the same thing, then the next one, the same thing, until I'm done with all 8 of those, okay? Then, once I have all 8 done, I'm going to clip them apart. You know what I do? There's my scissors. It's usually right here. I usually leave it to clip off those little threads right there. So, once you're done with all 8, then you're going to go ahead and press. So, I'm going to bring you back over here and show you the pressing. Okay, so I'm pressing this towards that triangle. Okay, that's important. Okay, and then again, you see that little dog ear there? And you can go ahead and snip it off any way you want, but I'm going to go ahead and snip that off. And it's going to land on all my other pieces. Now, the next piece that's going to go on this block is, in the row, is this square block here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sew that on. All right, so now it's just a straight seam. If you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and pin it at either end. That's fine, because if you're an accurate cutter, it should fit famously here, so you don't need to worry about pinning. But if you want to, you can put a little pin at either end to keep it from slipping or sliding, and you'll be just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And I'm going to clip my little thread. Then we're going to come on back over here and we're going to press again. So we want to press this one towards the block, okay, not towards the geese. We want to press it towards that square. Now, I'm a huge fan, by the way, of Mary Ellen's Best Press. If you want, you can go ahead and give it a mist and it keeps it nice and flat. I really like it because it just keeps those seams nice and flat. Okay, so now we've got that row number 1 done. So let me show you. I'm going to move you back here. Here's your row number 1. Okay, so it looks like that, just like it shows you in the pattern. Now you have to do row number 2. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to take the 2 triangles that you've joined together. You're going to flip them right sides together, and you are going to join them to the flying geese. Okay, so let's bring you on over here. Okay, and we are going to go ahead, and I'm going to start again. These, by the way, these seams here, these 2 seams, they will nest. They will nest. So you'll have a nice crisp match there. Okay, so I'm just sewing down that edge, and I'm keeping my edge of the geese and the edge of the triangle nice and straight. Now I'm not pulling on these at all. Even though I haven't pinned them, I'm not pulling on these. You don't want to tug on them because those triangles have bias edges. And that will distort. If you have, if you start tugging on them, you'll distort the fabric because of the bias edges, okay? And you don't want to do that. So now on this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to press again, and we are going to press towards the triangle, okay? So give it a press, and if you want again, you can go ahead, mist it with your Mary Ellen's Best Press. If you're not familiar with Mary Ellen's, it's a starch alternative, which I absolutely adore. And then again here, you can see there's a little dog ear there. Can you see that? Little dog ear. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off again. I just don't like that. I'm that way with my threads and my and the extra fabric. Those little dog ears just bother me. Okay, so now we have our 3 rows all set and ready. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I need to join this triangle first to this goose, or geese, I should say. Okay, so that is going to be added on right sides together right there, and we're going to bring it on over to the sewing machine again so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to end up with some really nice triangles. Now remember, you're going to be chain piecing this. This is important. So you're going to be adding all those triangles at the same time. If you stack them up the way I did, and you'll get these half blocks done in absolutely no time whatsoever. So make sure you stack them up like I did, so you have all 8 ready to go, and then you can just whiz right on through and get your half blocks done. Okay, so now this is going to be pressed towards this triangle. Okay, and I clip my block. Now we're going to go ahead and press again. We're going to press it towards this triangle. And you can give it a spritz of Mary Ellen's. And then again, I have that little dog ear there, and I'm going to go ahead and clip that off because I just keeps it nice and neat for me, so it's nice and trim. So now we have these 2 joined. Okay, now we're going to take this and join it to here, to the first row, and you're going to flip that over, and you're going to have seams that now oppose. Okay, so they will nest in there. This is important. So I told you how to press these in this video here. Make sure you're pressing them in the direction that I told you, because you will end up with nesting seams here. That's important because they will come out so wonderful. You will love it. So what I do here on this particular one, I take a pin, a very long fine pin. These I actually have on the website. I don't put it right in the seam. I'm going to put it about a 1/4 inch away from the seam just so it doesn't move. So you can see where I put it. It's away from the seam. It's not actually in the seam. That's the only place that I put it in this whole row. So I'm going to bring you over here. And remember, we're still chain piecing, even though I'm showing you one at a time. So just so you can see too, see how the triangle sticks beyond there? That's what it needs to do. That's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So your triangle's not going to match. So you're kind of starting off in the little valley here. Your needle comes in that little valley and it starts there. And that's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you're going to go ahead and start, and you're going to go ahead and sew straight through, keeping your edges nice and even. And then you're going to come to that seam where it nests and let it go through there. Take your pin out. Never sew over a pin. And then you're going to go ahead and go all the way to the end. If you wanted to put a pin in the end here, you can. That's okay. I haven't, because I've cut my things pretty exact here, so I don't really need to. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and then trim off my thread. And then we are going to press this again, and then your block is done. So we are going to go ahead and press it towards the square block. So let me swing you around again. I hope you're still with me here. Okay, we are going to go ahead and press this. I'm going to set my seam here. And then we're going to press it out towards the block, the square block here. And we get a really nice looking triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spritz it a little bit with Mary Ellen's. That seam will lay super duper flat, which we love, love, love. A super duper flat seam. Okay, so here is, Quilt Inspector number 1 is here. He's visiting. So that's one triangle. Now, there he is. There's my Quilt Inspector. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. He's checking out. Oh, there he is. Say hello to Quilt Inspector. Hi. Say hi to everybody, buddy. He is here checking out what I'm doing, making sure I'm doing it right, and he is looking at my Aurifil thread because he just loves it so much. Anyway, sorry, I diverted. We are going to go and look at that 1/4 block now. So here's the half block, okay, all done, and I'm going to show you. You're going to need to lay down, Mr. Inspector. So this was our half block, and now the 1/4 block consists of your triangle, your geese. You're going to need to lay down, Mr. Inspector, your geese, another triangle block, and then your small triangles, okay? So this basically is the same construction, but you have one row, and then you've got the triangle. So it's going to get joined with your triangle first on top of your geese. And I have this, you only need to make 4, so I have 4 in each pile, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you joining this. So let's come on back over here, and you probably can see Mr. Quilt Inspector sitting back there. He's going to keep an eye on my sewing. He's made his video debut today. I'm sure he wants everybody to say hi to him, so show him some love, because I know that he loves you guys. So we're just sewing straight down this seam. And then what we're going to do when we get down here is we're going to press out towards that triangle. And you're going to chain piece this again as well. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and press this towards the triangle. And once you've pressed that, Yep, I'm gonna clip that little dog ear. I think Mr. Inspector, Quilt Inspector number 1 likes when I say dog ear, not cat ear, because he'd probably say, meow. That's not so good. So now once that's on, once we have that one on there, okay, we need to add the other triangle to the other side. So we're gonna put that right sides together, okay, right sides together, and we're gonna come and we're gonna sew that on the other side. And the corner blocks, or the quarter blocks, are almost done. They don't take any time, and you can chain piece these. What I do is I chain piece all 4 sides onto all 4 geese, then go to the other side, place, you know, what I'm doing now, place all 4 triangles on all 4 geese, press, 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 and they're done in no time. And you'll be surprised at how quickly it goes if you chain piece. Okay, so then we're gonna press this, okay? You're gonna press towards that triangle, and you can give it a mist of Mary Ellen's, and then you can, it's hot off the presses, and then you can go ahead and clip off that dog ear, okay? Now we need to add the small triangle. So this is what I want you to do here. So I'm gonna back it up just a little bit so I can give you more room to see. I'm gonna find the middle of this. So I'm just folding it, and I'm gonna make a crease right here just to mark the middle, okay? And then I'm gonna take my little triangle that I'm gonna attach, fold it, right sides together, make a little crease, and then all I'm gonna do is match that middle where I made the crease to the middle, okay? So I matched the middle to the middle. That's all I'm doing. Then I'm gonna come on over here to the sewing machine, and if you want to, you can stick a pin in there. You don't have to if you've matched it. And then you're gonna go ahead and you're going to sew down there, add a 1/4 inch. Okay, and then you're gonna clip your threads, and now your 1/4 block is almost done because we just gotta press it. I'm gonna trim my thread, okay? Trimming the thread, and then I'm gonna come over here, we're gonna press it. Give it a press. And if you want to, you can go ahead and give it a shot of Mary Ellen's just to get those seams laying down straight. And then you have your 1/4 block, okay? So there's your 1/4 block. Now, I'm gonna turn you back up here for a minute, and we're just gonna chat, and then I'll take you over to the design wall, okay? So you can see where the 1/4 block's gonna go. Oh, and I forgot to trim off my little dog ear. I wanna do that too. So trim that off, and we're all set. So what you have to do for next week is make the 4 1/4 blocks and the 8 1/2 blocks, or setting triangles, I like to call them. So you will make those, and then we're going to be ready next week to then begin to join the rows with the sashing in there. So who would like to see it on the design wall? I'll take you all over there if you'd like to see it. But before I go over there, I need to take the thread out of my machine because Quilt Inspector number 1 likes to try and chew my thread. And I cannot leave it if he is here next to me because he wants to eat it and it's not good for him. So I have to take it and I have to put it out of his reach. So, and he is still here. I'll show you. He is sitting here so patiently. He loves, this is where he sits when I sew. He just loves to be near me, and I love this guy. He's one of my favorite boys. Okay, so would you all like to come over and see the design wall? I'm gonna take you over, and we're gonna, actually, it's gonna be easier if I take the phone off of the tripod, because I'm gonna rotate the camera around. Oops, I can't rotate my phone while I'm turning or while I'm recording. So, let's see. I can rotate the camera though. There we go. You can see on my design wall. Make sure you put yes down through the machine. I know, Lisa, I know. I was in a hurry. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and I'm going to show you on my design wall. This is the quilt. Now I'm going to put one of these. Okay, bear with me, people. Okay, here's one of the corners. There's one of the corners in there. And then we've got a setting triangle. I'm sorry if it's hard for me to do this one-handed. Okay, so you get the picture here. So there's where that setting triangle and the corner triangle go in, so you can see it goes in there. So now I just have to complete the rest of those to go in and around that quilt. And then next week, we're going to talk about, doing your sashing and getting these rows together, because that's going to be important. And then your quilt will be complete. And I'm also working, like I said, I'm also working on that second one. So turn around. Here we are again. So you will get to see next week how to complete the quilt. And I can't wait to show you, because the quilt is beautiful. If you happen to, I'm going to put you back on the tripod just so I can talk better. There we go. I feel better now. Sorry about that. Sorry if it was a little jittery there. Anyway, so next week we're going to start joining the quilt together, and I'm pretty excited because I made extra geese. So I think on the other one, the K-facet version, I think I'm going to try and make it larger. Haven't decided exactly how big, but I have a whole lot of geese that I made. So we're going to see. I have to do the math on it and see how many more whole and half blocks that I can get. And it'll probably be, I'm not sure, but I hope I know next week. So anyway, thanks for joining in again. And you got to see Quilt Inspector #1. And you got to see the quilt on the design wall. And hopefully next week I'll be a little bit more adept at bringing you over there without like moving the camera around, because I don't want anybody to get a little dizzy. Anyway, so after the video, after I'm done, you can go into the quilt group and you can download the PDF, and I will have links again for you up above me when I'm done. So I can't wait to see you guys posting your triangles, your half blocks, and your quarter blocks. Share the video with your friends, because they can still get in on the quilt along. It's never too late. It's great to have lots of people join in the fun. I love seeing all the variations too. So I appreciate you stopping in and listening to my tutorials and making the quilt. I love it. I love seeing your versions. So keep them coming. I appreciate it. And thank you, Nedra. Thanks, Betsy. You guys have a fabulous week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Happy quilting, everybody. Bye-bye.